Hi, I'm Gary Foreman, editor of thedollarstructure.com, a former financial planner and purchasing manager. Today, I'd like to answer a question that came in our Ask the Dollar Stretcher helpline. Gary, you have a question on the website about if debt is preventing us from taking a vacation. The true answer for many of us is it isn't the debt. The truth is that it is stagnant income that isn't keeping up with inflation. I'm a single parent, and we are having to resort to drastic measures to eat, keep clothed, and pay basic expenses. We've had only one cost of living raise in 9 years, and I already work a part-time job at a small church. I'm cooking everything from scratch, mending clothing, unplugging electronics, and strictly using cash to purchase our needs. I run out of cash each week way before the needs are met. I'm dreading the holidays this year, back to school needs, or even birthdays for my children. I know I'm not the only one either. I read an article online this week that annual raises were a thing of the past. So what kind of future do we have to look forward to? I can tell you for sure, not one filled with vacations. She's right, she is in a tough place. And to her credit, she's already taking the steps to deal with the problem. And that in significant steps if she's doing her own cooking and cutting back as much as she says. Now, according to the Labor Department, wages have been growing between 1.1 and 1.9% per year since the beginning of 2013. So there aren't many cost of living raises. Basically, what she's dealing with is a question of income versus expenses. First, let's look at the expenses. She's already taken the fat out of her budget, but sometimes you need to cut deeper still. For most budgets, the big three are housing, auto, and food. Those are your biggest budget items, and if you're looking for big savings, that's where you need to look. The hardest budget of all is for a single parent. The deck is stacked against single parents financially. Might mean moving to cheaper housing or sharing a home with another single mom. And that might mean a cheaper automobile. You'll have to decide what's the best way to cut expenses. Now, next on the income side, and this is where the question really came from, not all jobs are created equal. There are some people getting raises in this economy. And so the trick is to find out why your salary is stagnant. Is it possible that you could get a raise if you moved to a different employer? Same job, but just a different company. If you haven't looked recently, it might be time to do so. Perhaps you could get a raise if you did the same job, but in a different town. Now, naturally, you'd have to consider the cost of living there, but it could work well for you without getting additional training. On the other hand, it could be that additional training would get you a promotion or even a new line of work. That's something to consider as well. Now, normally I don't like college loans, but in this case, it might be worthwhile. Definitely if you're sure that the training you get will provide higher income for you so that you can pay that loan off. The other thing is the part-time job at the church might be better if it's replaced by something that pays a little more. At the bottom of this article, we're going to link to something from the Bureau of Labor Statistics on good and bad job fields that might trigger some ideas as to where you'd be most likely to find raises. Also, 5 of the top fastest growing high paying jobs that don't require a bachelor's degree. And then finally, something on industries where jobs are disappearing. And it's important to know where you are in the workforce. The fact that the average employee is not getting raises doesn't mean that some people are not. And you certainly want to be among those that are. We thank you for your question and hope that it works out well for you. Please shoot us an email and let us know how it goes. Thanks again.